This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good morning all. So let's get started now. So we are working on approval process, right? So yesterday we configured the till manager approvals. Okay. So here we have a flow action called approve. Okay. And here, so this is withdraw. That means so once it goes for manager approvals, yeah. So either manager can approve or withdraw the loan request, right? So if it is approved, again we are determining whether the loan officer approval is required. Okay. So for loan officer approvals, so we'll be creating a decision table. So if the loan type is auto loan, it doesn't require. It will not go to the loan officer. If it is home loan and amount is less than or equivalent to 35 lakhs, and property type is single family detached. So we have a the property called property type, so where we have different values, right? The type of the home. Okay, so if it is single family detached, also it will not go for yeah, so it doesn't require. So in all other cases, let's say it is home loan and amount is greater than 35 lakhs, or property type is other than single family detached, so in that case it will go for loan officer approvals. Okay, so what kind of rule we can write for this table or tree? Hmm? So when we go for trees, like if you want to put the nested if conditions, okay, so here we are checking if it is less than 10, then again inside that we are putting terms conditions, but here it is not like that. So just we are checking the loan type, the straightforward condition, right? If it is auto loan, return no. So again inside that if you are putting some other condition, then we go for tree. Okay, if it is not auto loan, then it will go to the next row to evaluate, not inside that. Okay, it is like if else if, like that.
Satya, we can have when
Clear?
condition also, right? We can
uh,
use when
when
condition.
condition, yeah, yeah, you can also use the when condition. So inside the when you need to put the conditions again, like uh, loan type, then again you need to uh, so how many conditions you need to specify? 3 to 4 conditions, right there. Okay, so yeah, you can go for when rule, and again you need to put a or b or c, something like that, like it will be little complex. Okay, so you can create a decision table for that with the 2 conditions, right? So mean you'll be putting 2 rows in the decision table. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, so go to the decision table called determine loan officer approvals. So how many properties are involving here? Loan type, so loan details dot the loan type. Next, amount and property type. If loan type is auto loan, so you don't need to consider amount and property type, right? So next, add one more row. If loan type is home loan and amount is less than or equivalent to 35 lakhs, okay, and property type single family detached. So in that case, also no, okay. Otherwise, yes, clear. So the loan type is home loan and amount is also less than or equivalent to 35 lakhs, but not single family detached. So it will go otherwise and it will return S value. Okay. So now you think of how you can put the conditions in the when rule. Okay. So how many conditions you need to put if it is when rule? So loan type, auto loan, then again you need to put the same condition. Then you need to check the loan amount, then property type. And if it is not, okay, let me just give you, let me create a when rule. But like you need to select, so here the same requirement can be achieved by using different rules. So this, we can also create a decision tree, right? So if you are able to do by using the decision table, obviously, so you'll be able to do by using the tree also. But so if you are able to achieve by using the decision table, then you don't need to go for decision tree, because so we use decision tables to delegate to the business users. If so once it is moved to the production, and let's say if they want to change the amount, okay, and they will be able to change directly in the production environment. Okay, so generally, we don't delegate the decision trees to the business users because it involves little complex. Okay,
But
so
Satya,
now yeah,
in the current version, the decision tree is also allowed, right? The delegation is there.
yeah, in the current version it is also, but yeah, so decision tables are easy compared to tree, right? So if we are able to do by using the table, then don't go for tree. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to check, like, maybe it is a personal edition and they're providing, but so I worked on 6 version, 7.12, but so in those versions we are not able to delegate it. And in the 8 version, yeah, in the 8 version also, so we have an option to delegate. Yeah, if it is the when rule, so you need to put lot of conditions. Let's say determine loan officer approvals. So how you will put the conditions here? It will be little complex right here. So we need to check all. Let's say, loan details dot loan type. This is auto loan. Then again, you need to put loan details dot loan type. Next, you need to consider amount loan details dot amount is less than or equivalent to 35 lakhs. Okay. Next, loan details dot property type. So now what will be the logic here? Logic string A or okay B and C and D, and you can put like this. Okay, what does mean? So if you are not putting this one, that means like it will return true if it is auto loan or home loan, and all these B, C, D conditions satisfied, it will return true. So based on that, so you can derive the connector. So you can define the conditions. Clear? So if we put, that means if it is not auto loan, so you should not put like, okay, this is okay. A or B and C and D. Okay, so you can put like this, and so we have an option called fork, right? So you select that, and in the connector you call the when rule, and if it is written yes, if it is auto loan, so we don't need, right? So here you can call the when rule. Okay, if it is doesn't require, then it will be ended here, otherwise it will come here. So which one is the best practice here? So again, we cannot delegate this, right? When rules we cannot. Okay,
Yep.
so you can think of that. So now take this decision table and invoke here. Okay, so if the connectors are not already defined, then connectors will be displayed automatically based on the return value. Otherwise, you need to select the values. So what is the result value for this? If it is yes, right? So we have two different values. If the result is yes, so inside the results, so all the return values will be displayed unique. Okay, the unique values. So now here, if it is no, and likelihood you can put 50 here, or let's say 40, but this is based on the condition, based on the conditions defined in the decision table. So you can put 50-50 also.
Okay, what is the significance of this likelihood?
Yeah, so here we define right in the manager approvals, but it doesn't impact anything here. But let's consider manager approvals. Okay, so we define two different flow actions, approve and withdraw, right? So if manager want to withdraw, okay, let's say we define 60 to the approve and 40 to the withdraw. That means always approve screen will be open first. Okay, if manager want withdraw, he has to select from the actions drop down. And if you put same, then I think this one, like whichever you define first, that one will be displayed. And let's say if you put 60 to this withdraw and 40 to the approve, then withdraw screen will be opened always. And if manager want to approve, need to select from drop down. Okay, clear? So now here it should be no, right? Yeah, okay. And if it is required, then it will go for loan officer. So here we need a screen here. Okay, this is an assignment, right? So we haven't invoked any flow action. Okay, so for this, again, like if you want, you can put the same flow actions, approve or withdraw, and so we can also create the custom screen. Okay, so for this, we will create a screen where we will provide the drop down called approvals, and inside the drop down will have the values like approve and reject. And if users select approve, and so we need to display the corresponding property called the approval comments, like to enter So why the manager is rejecting? Okay, if it is approved, approval comments property should be displayed to enter approval comments. So, and based on that value, so we need to update the work object status. Okay, any questions? So now let's create a section called approvals, where we need to create the work class one. Go to the user interface, section called approvals, or you can put loan officer approvals. Okay, so we can create the properties from section itself. Take the drop down property, take the drop down control and create a property from here. What is the property? Create a property called approvals. Okay, and specify the values in the local list called approved and rejected. Okay, so now go to the section, submit it. Okay, so now let's create properties called approval comments. Okay, so here we can use the control call text area. Okay, so where user can enter multiple lines of data. So if it is a text input, so can enter limited text, but this will have more space to enter the data. Okay, now add one more layout, or you can use the same. Take text area. Okay, text area is a control, and create a property called approval comments, or like you can create a generic property called comments. And so but here in the approvals, user will be able to select only one value, right? Either approve or reject, and those corresponding comments can be entered here. Or you can create two properties saying that approval comments and rejection comments. So based on that, we can display that. Okay, and these two things will be mandatory here. Okay, any questions here? And we don't need to put any conditions. So by default, always it should be displayed. Okay, and you can make this mandatory. So here we have an option called required. Always it is required. And based on condition also you can make it required. Okay, and you select approvals also as a required. Okay, so now we have a section. So let's create a flow action and invoke in the flow. Loan officers approvals. Okay, so now go to the flow and invoke the flow action here. Clear? Okay. So now, so we need to update the status, so based on the approvals property. Okay. So whenever you create a work object, it will have some status, right? Either it can be a new or, so there are some default statuses like new, open. Okay. But, in the real-time applications, so we put, the custom statuses. So let's say if it comes here, okay, let me open this. So if it comes here, that means like, either it is rejected by loan officer or approved by loan officer. So if it comes here, that means it is resolved completed. Okay. Here, rejected by manager. So likewise, and this is rejected with too risky or risky. Okay. So likewise, at certain point of time, if I want to know, the report based on the status, like, I want to know all the work objects which are, uh, which are completed at, which are resolved risky. Okay. And so based on the status, so we can retrieve all the, loan requests. Okay. And I want all the work objects means like loan requests which are completed. Okay. So where we can put the status saying status with like, resolve completed. Okay. So at each flow shape, so we can update the status. Okay. So by default also you have some status whenever you create a work object. Okay. So we have a property called py status work which holds the work object status. See here, py status work. That is the default status new. Okay. So but here we are going to configure the statuses. Okay. So now let's come here, and what work object status we need to update. So here we have some values available in the drop down, and if you want to put, you can put custom status also. Okay. So these statuses should be same across application. So in the real-time applications, what we do is, so we define statuses in some table or by using the property set, and we use through some data page. Okay. So in sometimes, let's say if you put resolve risky and some operator like some developer puts resolve too risky, it will be different statuses, right? So it should not be like that. Okay. So now let's put resolve or rejected with risky. That means, let's say so here we have created a decision table, right? So if it comes here, that means it will be rejected with risky. Okay, if assets are less than liabilities. Okay, and it will be completed here, and we will see the status for resolve this rejected. What is that? Rejected with risky. Okay, clear. So, and whenever you update the work object status, and you will see this flag symbol. Okay, so now come to the next end shape. Yeah, so here we have some, it is resolved but with dot. So like for risky also you can put resolve with risky. Okay, since it is completed, you can put resolve risky like this. Okay, and so this one also resolve, this one is resolve completed, right? This one is resolved, withdrawn, and this is resolved, completed. If it comes here, that means manager approved, but it doesn't require loan officer approvals. Okay. But here we cannot put, status like this, because that is depends on the property value, right? So if you put just like, resolve completed, even users select rejected, so the status will be resolved completed. So it should be based on, yeah, the approvals property. Okay, so here, so we have a OverTV activity called update status, which updates the work object status. Okay, so internally also, like, when you put, status there, internally some activity will be executed that will update the status to the work object. Okay, so here what we can do is you create an activity and you call update status activity, out of the box activity, and based on the condition, let's say if approvals equivalent to approved, update the status accordingly. Else means, like, if it is rejected, then update the status accordingly. Okay, clear? And so where we need to call that activity, it should be in the flow action in the post processing. Okay, because at the time of that activity execution, the approvals property value should be available on the clipboard. So it will take the value from the clipboard, and based on that it will update the status. Okay, so create an activity called update work object status. Okay, the next step, the continuation.
Satya, as an alternate, can we also use the decision shape after that assignment and then use when rules to
That's
update
what,
it?
yes, yeah. Again, like, so you can take two connectors. That's what we are doing for managers, right? Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
sometimes, like, you'll have to update the status, through activity, so where flow doesn't involve sometimes,
Okay.
right? So you have to know this. Okay,
Yeah.
update work object status. And sometimes in the interviews they will ask, like, what are the out of the box activities you have worked on. Okay, so this is one among the out of the box activities. Okay, update status. So how can we call another activity here? Call, right? Since it is out of the box, it will be available somewhere, either worked as or worked as covered as. Okay, update status. And if you open this rule, so there will be a lot of steps, so you don't bother about that. So you see somewhere, Java steps where, so Java code written. So you don't need to bother about that. You just need to know about the activity and pass the parameter accordingly. See now, expand it. So what parameters it is expecting? So, but before that, we need to put the condition, right? So if means, like, the precondition should be, you can put like this, approvals. If you either you can call the vendor or you can put the expression like this. So dot approvals, that means the work page dot approvals equivalent to approved. Continue. Otherwise, skip the step. Can we put this skip events here? Yes, right? Since we are putting only one step. Okay. And this is resolve complete. So don't unlock, like, so after completing this, if you do not want to unlock, don't unlock. Still, locking will be available on that. Unlock the work objects after updating the status. So we don't need to put that. Okay. We don't need to unlock what we call, we don't need to release the lock from the object. Okay. Clear? So here we are passing the mandatory parameter, that is the status work, and if it is rejected, then this step will be skipped, right? So others, another step has to be updated, means it has to be executed. So take the same step, copy and paste here. The only thing is you need to reject it. If it is rejected, skip once, otherwise skip the step. Here we need to change resolve rejected. Okay. So now, so let's say if first condition is satisfied, that means approvals, user approved it, loan office approved it, and so do we need to execute the second step? So even we don't need to consider, right? So in the post conditions, we can exit from the activity. If it comes here, always we can exit. True is true, always true. That means this specified value is true or not. Okay, if it is true, is always true, right? True equivalent to true, it returns true. So exit activity. That means if the condition doesn't satisfy, then even it will not go to the post condition. So this one will be evaluated, means this one will be executed. Okay. So here, do we need to put this condition? Then it's not required. Right? Understand? So because there are only two values, right? Either user will approve or reject it. Okay. So if we have multiple values, then you cannot put like this, because other than approved, it will execute this step. Okay. So in this case, either it will be approved or rejected. So that's the reason we are putting like this. Okay. Any questions? So now where we need to invoke this update work object status activity? In the post processing of this flow action. So check out this rule. Update work object status. Okay. So this is how our approval process would be, and so we need to test all the possible scenarios. You take the data which satisfy the risky, like you execute a flow, you enter more liabilities than assets and see whether it is going to whether it is going here and update the status accordingly. And then you need to test this, and sometimes you enter more down payment, like more than 20% of the asking price. So in that case, you should not calculate the PMI premium. That is the expected outcome, right? And sometimes you enter less than 20% and see whether it is calculating or not. Okay. And you put less than 35 lakhs and make it satisfy loan officer conditions, and see whether it is going for loan officer. Okay, then approve it and see the status. And sometimes you select the reject and see whether it is updating the status or not. So in that way, you need to test the whole process. Any questions so far? And so this is completed, right? So approval process. So now we can turn off the draft mode and save it. If there are any errors, it will display. Okay. Still there are some warnings are displaying, right? So intended to be a demo or template flow action, but no longer prompted. Okay. So what it is saying that, like instead of using OOTB flow actions, it is expecting, it is, PRPC suggesting use custom flow actions. So you can put justification like, or like, so you put your own flow actions to be removed this warning. Okay. And so this one is also same because we used approve and withdraw flow action, and you should create a test case. Okay, this is generic warning. Okay, and sometimes like, if you put more flow shapes, like more than 24 shapes, it will display warning saying that flow should not contain. It's not an error, it's warning, like, so what PRPC recommend is, like, if it is goes beyond the 24 flow shapes, so you can create a separate flow and you can include here. Okay, so that, like, it will be easy to understand for other developers. Okay, so if you put, a lot of flow shapes here, and it will take time to understand. That's it, right? So now where we need to invoke this flow, it's for both, right? But for auto loan, so we don't the complete one is inappropriate, so we don't need to consider calculate PMI premium and some details, and we need to remove those for auto loan, right? See here, this is, we are considering like, based on the down payment and asking price, so those are not applicable for auto loan. Okay, and here for auto loan we are not at all sending it for loan officer, so then this is not required for auto loan. Okay, so we'll modify accordingly for auto loan. Okay, so without disturbing this flow, so we can do that. Okay, that will be covered. So once we test, this the whole flow. The next continuation is invoke approval process flow in the home loan. Okay, so here we have a, okay, it is there in the 02, so we can't do anything here. So save as into 03. So here we have a flow shape called sub process. So by using this option, so we can invoke another flow. So we have a separate flow called screen flow that will be covered later. So we are calling process flow only, that is approval process. So now let's execute and test all the scenarios. So if you design all the screens and putting some validations, what you can do is you create some dummy activity or data transform and assign some default values and invoke in the put the values in the p by default or create and put in the pre-processing of the first flow action, so that like you don't need to enter every time. So we need to run this flow so multiple times to test all the scenarios. So every time we need to enter the data, right? So you can create a dummy activity to assign the values to the properties, so that you can click next like that. So otherwise, like you need to enter all the values like this. If you would have already set these values in some data transformer activity, so whenever execute a flow, by default you see the values and we can submit the flow directly. Okay,
Satya, can you show that with the example?
that is for testing purpose, like uh, to reduce the time.
Okay.
So now see, if you are not putting any validations, that's fine. So now So I cannot go to the next screen without entering all these, values, right? The mandatory, and otherwise, like, means like, post processing, we need to take care of that validation. So if you are already set through data transform, let's say ZIP, you are saying you put, 6 digits like this, and you can directly submit the screen. Okay. And you need to select age also. Okay, let's say 1990 something, put like this. It's taking time to enter, data, right? So that's the reason, like, you can put okay. This is different, right? So this message should not be displayed. Okay. So, and again, you need to enter some amount. Okay. So now we are testing this one, right? Approval process. Let me open the approval process. So we need to enter the data accordingly. Okay. So let me. Okay, but so this is fine. Like if you put more liabilities than assets, obviously it will go for risky, right? So you can enter the data. Okay. This is different. Where we have assets and liabilities after this screen, right? So put assets, let's say 10 lakhs, and put more liabilities. Okay, so obviously it will go for, it has to go for risky. Okay, so if it goes for approvals, then there is some issue with the logic, right? Okay, so submit it. It's completed. So now go to the clipboard, and here you will see the status itself. Here itself. Okay, resolve risky. That means like it is working as expected in this scenario. Okay, and you need to consider other scenarios also. Like, so we are applying home loan, and assets should be, let's say, put more assets than liabilities, and loan amount should not be greater than borrower income plus spouse income into 3, something, right? So based on that, you need to enter the income. So to reduce, like, efforts, you can create some data transform. Guys, put on mute, please. So now, okay, so we need income also, right? So again, let's say put 10 lakhs. How much? This is 10 lakhs. Okay, and let's say spouse income also 10 lakhs. Okay, that means we can apply for the loan up to 60 lakhs. If it is more than 60, then again it will go for risk. Okay, so you need to enter the data accordingly. Enter zip code. Okay, so submit it and put the amount. This is 5 lakh, 50 lakhs, right? Okay, so that means, like, you know, this condition will be satisfied and it will not go for risky. So what are other conditions we defined? Take borrower risk table. That is fine, right? So yeah, it will go. Okay, that's fine. So you should not go to the risky in this case. Okay, so submit, but asset should be more than liabilities, obviously. Okay, otherwise again it will go for, yeah. So now see whether it is going for approvals or not. What happened here? So go to the loan office, go to the approval process. So you should go for approvals, right? So no risky, see this value. Okay, then it will check PM. Okay, because so we haven't entered these, right? So we need to enter like a down payment and asking price also. Okay, so that's the reason, like, you need to make those fields mandatory so that you cannot ignore them. Okay, so again, so we need to enter all the data. Let's put something. Let's put income and spouse income and put the zip code. It should be 6 digit. And let's say this is 50 lakhs. Okay, so now let's enter less than 20%. So that this is how much? 50 lakhs, right? Or 5 lakhs. Okay, so down payment, let's enter. This one is 50 lakhs. 10 lakhs means how much? 20%, right? Let's put 9 lakhs. So in that case, it has to calculate the PMI premium. If it is 20%, then it will not calculate. Okay, any questions? It is based on asking price, right? So asking price is this. Okay, 50 lakhs, and down payment is 9 lakhs. So it is less than 20%, so it has to calculate PMI premium. This is how much? Okay, right. So now let's put some asset and liabilities. Okay, so now open the tracer. So we need to see whether those rules are okay. Put something like this. Yeah, so now when you click on submit, so background those automated like activities will be executed. If it is less than 20%, otherwise it will directly go for approvals. Okay. So, and if it is calculate, if PMI premium calculate that value, you can see on the tracer and clipboard. Okay. So now see, what happened? It's gone for approvals, right? So this is approve this section. And if manager want to withdraw this, select from actions. Since we put more likelihood for approvals, that is getting displayed first, right? Like this. So now if you go to the PY work page, loan details and see the PMI premium. So based on the data you entered, and this is the one you need to pay as part of the monthly installment. Okay, 2083. Okay, it's working right as expected. Now you put more than 20% and see, you should not calculate. That is expected outcome. Okay, so now once it is approved, then it will go for loan officer or not. So we entered what property type we selected, and amount is obviously more than 35 lakhs, so it will go for loan officer approvals. But it is not going. So you need to check that. Okay. You understand, right? So based on the data, it will decide whether it will go for next level approvals or not. Okay. Why it is otherwise okay. Yeah, so that condition has to be satisfied, right? Determine loan officer approvals. No, okay, so loan amount is more than, this is how much? Okay, that's the reason. It should be 35 lakhs. Okay. So now if you test for the same data, it will go for loan officer approvals and see whether the status is based on the approvals, value. Okay. You can test that. Any questions? So we just configured, tables and trees, nothing else, right? And putting the, flow shapes accordingly. Okay, simple scenario only. So in the next class, we'll be working on circumstance. Okay, so now approval process we design, and that is that can be used for auto loan as well as home loan, right? But for auto loan, so we don't need to, we don't need to put, these. Where is that? Yeah, PMI premium, those things are not required. So what we can do is, like, based on the condition, we can create a circumstance rule. Okay, so main rule will be there. So we have a approval process, and we will create a variant rule for that. So if loan type is auto loan, and we will modify the whole flow. Okay, if it is auto loan, then modified flow will be executed for all other work types. Let's say home loan, it will pick the one which we design currently. Okay, so we can handle in a different way also. So let's take approval process flow, and inside that flow we can put the conditions, right? But let's assume that so we have a lot of the conditions defined, then like you need to put lot of, if you have more flow shape, then you need to put lot of conditions inside that. Okay, in order to avoid that, so you create another copy based on the condition. So you modify as per auto loan requirement, and that will be executed for only auto loan. So we are not creating two different processes, the same process but based on the condition. Okay, so we'll work on that part tomorrow. Yeah, that's it for today. I will continue to. Thank you.